The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The rape and homicide complaint filed against the respondents in the death of Christine Dacera has been dismissed. Pat Mangune reports to us live from Quezon City to give us more details on this. Pat, good afternoon. Could you tell us precisely why this case was dismissed?
Charles, the Makati City Prosecutor's Office did junk the rape with homicide case against all 11 of the defendants due to lack of probable cause. With this, the camp of 5 of the defendants were relieved. Represented by their lawyer, attorney Mike Santiago, defendants Jezreel Clark Rapinan, John Pascual or JP de la Serna, and Gregorio or Gigo de Guzman claimed their copy of the 19-page resolution this morning. They said they never doubted that the prosecutors would eventually find no probable cause to charge all 11 defendants in court due to insufficient evidence for rape with homicide. Rapinan, De La Serna, and De Guzman are now hoping to move on with their lives despite the damage on their reputation. They're also asking the Dacera family to respect the court's decision. While De Guzman couldn't help but get emotional as he no longer is able to share the good news with his recently departed mother, Claire de la Fuente. Charles, their legal counsel, attorney Santiago, said their legal battle will continue as they face a similar charge filed against them by the NBI. As well, it will also be at the Makati City Prosecutor's Office. They also have a pending complaint filed against the Dacera family for perjury and cyber libel, among others. Charles?
Right, Pat, thank you for those updates. Do we know, have we heard from the Dacera camp, what's their reaction and what are the next steps that they intend to take?
Charles, we're still seeking comment and statement from the Dacera camp as well as their legal counsel. So we're still awaiting whether they will file an appeal or whether they will accept the resolution. Charles?
Thanks for that update, Pat, and stay safe. That was Pat Mangune reporting live from Quezon City. At least 2 overseas Filipino workers in India have died due to COVID-19 over the past 48 hours. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Philippine Ambassador Ramon Bagatsing Jr. said they are already planning how to handle the remains. Bagatsing noted that this will be a challenge as flights need to pass through the Middle East, which has already banned travel from India. The envoy, however, assured the families of the OFWs that officials are in constant coordination with Filipino community leaders. Bagatsing reported that at least 20 Filipino workers registered in the Philippine Embassy in India have been infected with COVID-19.
We only have about 2,000 Filipinos here, and 80% of them are housewives. So about less than 70 are OFWs, but these OFWs are in the managerial level, and a few seafarers. And unfortunately, this last 48 hours, nakakuha kami ng balita na dalawa sa ating mga OFW, as I said, these are managerial level people that have passed away. Maklase itong pandemic na ito, napakalungkot. Okay naman at nagtutulungan ng ating mga kababayan dito.
We'll bring you more stories after this short break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Health Department admits that their hands are tied when it comes to helping local government units in their COVID-19 response. Let's talk more about that with Greg Gregorio. He's joining us again live from Mandaluyong. Greg, good afternoon. Could you tell us exactly what these problems caused by the DOH's limited capacity to assist LGUs?
Yes, Charles, good afternoon. According to the Department of Health, it is primarily because of the devolution of the healthcare systems in the Philippines back in 1990s since the implementation of the Local Government Code of 1991. And the current pandemic, or the current COVID-19 pandemic, has exposed how the healthcare systems in every locality varies on the capability of each local government units, which is also dependent on a lot of factors, including their resources. And according to Dr. Beverly Ho of the DOH's Health Promotions Bureau and Disease Prevention and Control Bureau, their limited capacity to assist LGUs include approval of facility enhancement grant, provision of technical guidelines, as well as hiring a limited number of healthcare workers, which is also dependent on the budget of the Department of Health. Charles?
Right, Greg, I understand that the Department of Health and lawmakers are in the middle of discussions as regards this renationalization of health systems. What exactly does this mean, and what do they intend to accomplish with this?
Yes, Charles, this renationalization, or this concept of renationalization, has earlier been mentioned by Health Secretary Francisco Duque III even prior the COVID-19 pandemic. But since we are facing this pandemic, this has resurfaced in one of the committee hearings in the lower house, as initiated by the House Committee on Health a few months back, according to Dr. Beverly Ho. And currently, according to Dr. Beverly Ho, there is still uncertain outcome for this, as things are still being discussed, especially on aspects that will definitely be affected once the healthcare systems will be reverted back to renationalization, or the healthcare systems in the country will be sent back to under the responsibility of the Department of Health entirely, as contrary to what we have now, that the healthcare systems is dependent on the local government units. Charles?
Greg, I also understand that authorities are set to send certain packages to certain individuals in need. Let's talk about the isolation package vis-a-vis the home care package. Which is which?
Yes, Ross, this isolation package pertains to the package that the PhilHealth provides for those COVID-19 patients admitted in the hospital. But since we are facing a problem on the congestions of hospitals, and there is an effort to decongest hospitals, there are already a symptomatic amount of patients taking isolation in their homes. Now, on this matter, the home care package comes in. As earlier explained by Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere, this home care package will include preventive supplies like masks, vitamins, disinfection supplies like bleach, and other monitoring equipment like a thermometer and oximeter. But it will also have instruction materials for those patients isolating in their houses regarding on when will they go to the hospitals, or where will they go to the hospitals, and the processes they would have to undergo in order for them to be assisted or to be given the medical care that they need. Charles?
Thanks for that. Thank you for explaining that to us, Greg. But then now, could you tell us more about this budget calculator that is currently being studied by the Department of Health?
Charles, in an example given by Dr. Beverly Ho, currently the healthcare systems is depending on the IRA, or the Internal Revenue Allotment of each local government units. But according to Dr. Ho, they're currently working on a budgetary calculator that is more likely dependent on the per capita or the income generated by a specific area on a specific year. And this way, they could possibly assure more budget allocation for health systems as compared to what we could allot now. Charles?
Thanks for that, Greg. That was Greg Gregorio reporting from Mandaluyong. Here are other vaccine stories from around the world. Brazil won't be importing Russian-made Sputnik V vaccines due to what they call inherent risks and serious defects. The country's 5-strong health regulatory board unanimously disapproved the vaccine. The Latin American nation is in the middle of a second wave of the deadly coronavirus. Health authorities are reallocating around 75% of Congo's 1.7 million AstraZeneca vaccines to other African countries to make sure that these are used before expiration. Congo received an initial shipment from the COVAX facility last March, but delayed the rollout due to the shots linked to extremely rare blood clots. And Japan is set to open a mass vaccination center in Tokyo next month to speed up its inoculation campaign. Japanese health officials have yet to decide on which vaccine brand to use. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Charles Lejano. We're One News.